Greetings, it's Iain from RTO here. Welcome to, well, this is another confusing one. This is recorded on a Saturday evening, but you will be seeing it on a Sunday. So it means I've got Simon. And do you know this is the first time we've actually done a collaboration, just me and you?
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
First ever collaboration. We've been doing live streams forever, but we've never actually made a video.
No, until now.
Until now. I don't think this will be the last one either.
Probably not. And this one is a real one, dear to our hearts, isn't it?
It is. Up to a certain period.
Yes. Yes.
We're talking about Muse. Now, you know my love, everyone knows my love of Muse at the moment. It's not very good. But when they came out, they sort of, even because I've been a bit older, to go, hello, well, this sounds good. And today, all I can say is our favourite Muse tracks. And I haven't gone, I think the latest I've gone here is 2009 for one song.
I haven't gone that far. I'm not going to give the game away what I've done. So
no. So as with all, as I do these, my guest always goes first. I go second. We've got some bubbling unders, and Simon's got more than me.
Yeah. Okay then. My number 10. Or should we go to the bubbling unders first?
No, we'll go the traditional one.
Traditional. Okay. Number 10 then. Showbiz. From the Showbiz album. The great Showbiz album. The album I can't seem to stray away from. It's so good. It's such a good album. And Showbiz is the least favourite on here. So yeah, there you go. That's my number 10.
Yeah, it's a good track. It's got a lot. I love Chris's bass in that.
It is. Yes, it has.
Very prominent.
Straight from the start, isn't it?
It is Showbiz, isn't it? It's, you know, back in them days, it was all fresh and unique. But Showbiz is a good place to start.
It is.
Excellent track. Well, mine is the only one from 2009. It's from the Resistance, and it's the lead single. The only one, and that's Uprising.
Really?
Yeah. Now there's one good reason I like that. Matt Bellamy plays a Gretsch guitar on it. There's a riff in it that's done on a thing, and it's probably the last track by Muse that I really, really, really liked. It sort of went after the Revelations album. It did go downhill rapidly.
It didn't even make my bubbling unders.
Well, that's that one out the way.
Right then, my number 9, yet again from the same album, Showbiz, is Cave.
Great song. I will talk about that later myself.
Because it's on one of your lists.
Yeah, there is a very good live version on the Hullabaloo soundtrack, the DVD.
There is. Yes,
and it's in surround sound, and it just sounds magnificent.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go for my number 9 from 2004 and a track off the Absolution album. I think it was a single. We got to number 14, and it's Butterflies and Hurricanes.
Butterflies and Hurricanes. Yeah, that's a good song. Yeah.
It's theatrical. It's operatic.
It is.
I love that piano bit that sort of concerto bit in the middle. And it's got the best bass line.
It's a well put together song.
I think that's when Muse were at their peak, I think.
Arguable, but I'll go along with it.
That was the last great album.
Right, number 8 then is Philip, yet again from the debut album.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks, isn't it, that people forget about?
It is. Yeah. There's quite a few deep cuts on here, so they're not going to be too familiar with everybody. But no,
Yeah, great guitar solo on that from Matt, I think.
yeah, well, there's a lot of good guitar work on the first 3 albums, isn't there?
Okay, my number 8, we are going to stick with the Showbiz album. And it was a single, and he got to number 25, but it's Muscle Museum. Boom, 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 boom. That little, that sort of mandolin sound. And I love the line, we've played in every toilet. I think it goes back to when they first started.
The guitar kicks in as
the
bass. Yeah,
fabulous track.
Good song. Yeah, so good in fact that is my number 7. So yes, Muscle Museum.
Yeah, I think it's something. Some of the lyrics goes back to when they first started gigging. You know, especially as I said that line, we've played every toilet, which they say, you know, some gigs say it's like playing the toilet. Great choice. And guess what? We're going to stay with us that album as well.
Good man.
The next one. The last track on the album. Hate This and I'll Love You. Absolutely stunning track. A great closing album track. The end bit is just wonderful with all that sort of flowy guitars. And if you can't remember, Dominic on the drums on this whole album is just a fantastic drummer. He's tight. Him and Chris are just so tight. And on that, towards the end, it's that wonderful grandeur towards the end. I love.
Yeah, it is a good song. I did think about that rather a lot, actually. Right then, my number 6 then is Newborn on the Origin of Symmetry album. Yet again, similar to the first album, it has a very nice piano introduction, does it not?
Fantastic. I'm not going to say too much about that. No, because that's going up. Good choice. Okay, number 6, 2006, the Supermassive, the Black Holes and Revelations album, and it's the last track, Knights of Sidonia. I prefer the live version when they do the harmonica, the Ennio Morricone style. I think it's got more atmosphere on the live, but the studio version is just brilliant. I love how it builds up, and I love the sort of the galloping cowboy. It's a very cowboy song, isn't it?
It is, yes, it is. Right, number 5 then, Sunburn, the first track, I believe, on the debut album, Showbiz. Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? That introduction.
It's so basic, isn't it, that song?
It is basic, but it's brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant at the same time.
Yes, less is more.
There's a lot to be said about piano in bands. You know, it brings a whole new dimension, I think, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, Matt comes from a musical family, doesn't he? I mean, his dad was in the Tornadoes, responsible, of course, of Telstar. So it's in his blood, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yes. For those who don't know, his dad is George Bellamy. It's in the Tornadoes. Yeah, on another great choice. Right, number 5 is from Absolution. I can never say this because I can't get my tongue around it anymore. My mouth won't let me do it. So it's the second track, but it's not it's the first proper track, because the first bit of Absolution is the and then you get this wonderful piano on a Coppelix Please from Matt. Absolutely brilliant. There's no guitar in this song. It's all keyboards, but there's some lovely keyboard runs in it. There's some lovely falsetto vocals from Matt Bellamy. What more can you ask for on a track? It's a stunning track.
You're right. Yeah, it's an album I need to invest more time in.
Yes. It is a great album.
Right then, number 4, and this is a brilliant cover, "Feeling Good" from the Showbiz album.
Oh, it's not. It's Origins of Symmetry.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, beg your pardon. I must have wrote the wrong album down my list. Yes, I think you've got a feeling you're right. It is, isn't it? Thinking about it. Yeah. But it could fit on the first album very easily, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could. It's I love how he speaks into the megaphone. I think it's brilliant.
It is. It's a great song.
It's been used a lot on TV as well, that version.
It has, yeah.
It's even been on Doctor Who.
Yeah. It's almost up there with the original. I'll say it's on par with the original.
When it comes to
so,
covers.
so well done. Yeah.
Good choice. I haven't got that one on my list. I forgot about that. I love that track.
I'm surprised about that.
Yeah. Okay, my number 4. I'm going to stay with the Absolution album. And it's the one that starts with that great bass line from Chris. And then the Dominic comes in with the drums, and you got Matt Hysteria. It's just, it rocks.
It's not on any of my lists, would you believe?
Again, it's been used in so many adverts, and it's been on TV. It's just it's one of the heaviest tracks they ever did, along with Stockholm Syndrome, which is not in my list, but that is a shout out for Stockholm Syndrome as well.
Good stuff. Right, this might surprise you a bit. My number 3, "Map of Your Head" on the Hullabaloo album. Just a lovely, sweet, kind of simplistic song on the, I wouldn't say it's a guitar as such, is it? It's what would you call it?
I don't know. It's just a strange sound. It's great. It is. It's just. It's one of those tracks. Again, it's just so simple, isn't it? But it's also got a wonderful bass line. I think Chris Wolstenholme is a very underrated bass player.
It has. It's a simple song. It's just nice, isn't it? It's probably a little bit unusual for them to put a song like that together.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that of course is a song. I do apologise, folks. Rocky, it's because I'm not paying attention to him. That's all. You know what he's like at night. Anyway, yeah. It's very simple, but it was a track that they recorded before Showbiz.
Right.
So these are tracks that were on B-sides and that they put on that second album, because Hullabaloo, you got that live album, which is superb. And then you've got these tracks. So, yeah, what a great choice that is. Okay, my number 3, you've already mentioned it, from Showbiz, a little bit of Cave.
Cave, yeah.
I love the end of that, when it goes, dun, 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 then you come in with that sweeping guitar to end the track. It's a stunning track.
It's a good song, yeah, very good song. Right, this is an absolute beauty, my number 2, and that is Unintended from the debut album. Just, this could have been my number 1. I already thought this maybe should be number 1, but one particular song just edged it. Just edged it. It's beautifully sang. It's got beautiful lyrics. It's incredible. It's an incredible track, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I haven't got it on my list because I knew that you was going to put it on. You see, so but yeah, it is a good track. They brought it back in this live set a few years ago, There's a
Right.
lovely live version. I think it's from the Harp live album. It's lovely live. Okay, my number two. This was hard because these two tracks to me are just brilliant. I've been tossing and turning, and it was one we mentioned last time I on that should have been a number one in the 2000s, and it's Plug-in Baby.
It's a cracker of a song, an absolute
Lots
cracker.
of energy, got a really strong guitar solo. The beginning of that is just
that riff
back.
It's just wild, isn't it? It's just fantastic.
Yeah, it's just one of their greatest songs.
It is, yes. Should be their greatest song. Should be number one.
It should be, but there's a reason why my number one's number one.
Right then. Well, it's kind of giving the game away a little bit because it is my number one, Plug-in Baby. It's off the Origin of Symmetry album. It's the song that got me to buy their first three albums. Off the back of listening to that great track, I went into HMV and I picked up the first three albums. I've never done it with any other band before where I felt compelled to buy three of their albums, brand new, from the CD shop back in the day, in the early 2000s. So yeah, it's a fantastic track. The riff at the beginning is just absolutely incredible. It rocks. It's an absolute belter. Fantastic song.
You just can't argue with that.
No.
But my number one is from the Origin of Symmetry. You've already mentioned it. And it's right. Newborn. Newborn, absolutely stunning. As you said, that piano bit, and then it goes quiet, and then you get that heavy old riff and the bass. It just blows me away, that song. I mean, it was a single, but I don't think it was a number one single. But Newborn to me is what Muse was all about back in the day. Raw, brilliant compositions, brilliant drumming, brilliant everything. It's just, and I just love how it ends. It's just a weird ending.
It has a weird ending, but they were a weird band, weren't they?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Unusual.
Yeah, but the thing is, that weird ending goes into Plug-in Baby.
It does. It kind of merges, doesn't it?
Yes, it's sort of a natural transition, isn't it?
Yeah, those albums, those tracks, they merge so well. They flow so well, don't they?
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, obviously we know what your favourite album is.
It's very hard not to consider it very seriously. It's an amazing album. I think it's such a good album. It's difficult to consider anything else. In honest truth, Ian, for me, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, them first three albums for me are just
as good as Plug-in Baby is, and of course the other tracks on Origin of Symmetry, Newborn, for example. Showbiz just wins it hands down. It's you say Muse, I think Showbiz album all the time. It's uncomparable. That's to me is Muse.
Muse, yeah, they were. I mean, they were just great in their day, weren't they?
They were.
So, what's in your bubbling in under list then?
Right, my 8 bubbling unders.
Don't go so quick this week. How I did that editing last time was unbelievable, but
all right. Right, the first track then, Starlight.
Oh yeah, that's a good little tune. That is.
It's a good little tune, yeah. Next up is Bliss.
Oh, lovely track. The lovely keyboards in that.
Can't quite tell you what albums these are from. I can't quite remember.
Oh, let's go. So we've had, what did you say?
Starlight
is from Black Holes and Revelations.
Next track is Micro Cuts.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. I agree. Next track is Resistance.
Oh, the Let's Sound Like You Too track.
Yeah, it's still good though.
It is very good.
Sober.
Oh, God, what a track.
Yeah. Escape. Trying to think
Wow.
Overdue. And Supermassive Black Hole.
Some good ones in there. Well, mine. I'm going to start off with Supermassive Black Hole because it was a little bit different. I just love the falsetto and that glaciers melting in the dead of night. I love that Chris Wolfson backing vocal. Okay, my next one is from Origins of Symmetry, and it's Citizens Erased.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Killer.
Yeah.
I just love that. Now we're going back to the Absolution album for my next one, and it's a little track towards the end, and it's called Endlessly. It's a sort of a keyboardy. It's got a keyboard, piano, and bass. It's so catchy, and it's
brilliant on the piano, aren't they?
Yeah, Matt Bellamy is a fine piano player. My next one goes back to the Origin album, and it's Space Dementia. I just love Matt singing on it. His falsetto is one of the best in the business at falsetto vocals. I mean, he proved that on Micro Cuts, didn't he? Hitting them high notes. I've got Map of Your Head, which actually was the B-side to Newborn.
Was it?
Yeah. I just remembered that. It was the B-side.
It's a sweet song, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But it's been hanging around in their catalogue for years. And my last one is from 2002, and it was a single they brought out between Showbiz and Origins of Symmetry. Now, there is a live version of it on Hullabaloo, but it's Dead Star.
Yes, I know Dead Star. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that dun 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 dun. It's a real. I mean, it's different, but the studio version's a little different. But it's that live version from the Hullabaloo that it really. I think I love both versions, but I think out of the two versions, I do really prefer the live version. But it's still a great track, and I have thought of another one. Just off the top of my head. Now, do you remember a track by Hot Butter called Popcorn? Do 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 do.
Yeah.
We used did a version of it.
They did?
Yeah, they did. And it's brilliant. It's been put through the Muse machine.
It's been used.
It's been mused, and it's fantastic. And if I can find it, I'll put it in the because I've got it. I got it on a. Well, I won't say where I got it from because I might get into trouble. But it is very good. And I thought I'd just mention that they did a version of Popcorn.
Yeah.
So there we go. There's a few Muse songs.
There is.
I'll put them all in the playlist.
Ray, why not?
Yeah, because I spend most of my time slagging off Muse.
Do you? Oh, the later ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I kind of lost interest a bit after so long.
Yeah.
Lost a bit.
Do you think they'll ever go back to their roots?
I don't think they will. No. Brilliance is only captured in a small moment of time, isn't it? And then it's gone.
Yeah. I think I've always said this. I think they've forgotten about their fans that put them where they were.
It happens to all bands, isn't it? A
lot
of
bands. It's a shame. I mean, the Will of the Power albums just.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever beaten their debut album. They've
I
found
think they
quite
picked
a great
too early.
song. But no, that first one is an excellent album.
Oh, I've really enjoyed doing this. It's nice to talk about some early Muse.
It is, yeah. It's a great
Yeah.
band.
Next time you'll see us together, we'll have Richard with us in a fortnight's time.
We will, yeah. Talking
Do
about the
another
80s.
series of what we thought should have been number ones, and we're going to look at the 1980s.
Yes,
Interesting.
already done my list.
I've done mine now. I think Richard's sort of. So, thank you very much, Simon. I know it's late on a Saturday evening, but
It's all right. Pleasure, Ian.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, folks. Bye.
Yeah.